Meanwhile, a U.S. military base located on Puerto Rico could be very instrumental in helping it get back on its feet. My next guest is stationed at Fort Buchanan, traveling throughout the island to assess the damage and determine how our military can best help the people there. We're bringing her back for an update today. We got so much great information. Brigadier General Dustin Shultz is with the U.S. Army Reserve 1st Mission Support Command. General, you're with us?
Absolutely.
All right, so you've had a chance now to see firsthand. I mean, the pictures, well, they tell such huge stories, but what is the story of what is needed and how you think you can meet those needs expeditiously?
Well, it's key that we all understand the challenges regarding infrastructure, power, road, facility damage. Our installations, our homes have been stretched beyond imagination. And as your meteorologist articulated, we've gotten way more rain than we are used to, and all the foliage is ripped off the trees, and that has put a lot of systems in places that they are not operable, and people are in blackout zones where they can't easily communicate with their loved ones, and it puts them in a bit of angst.
So blackout zone, that draws a different picture in our minds, because that's not just electrical power, that's utilities. That means you're physically cut off from being able to get to people too. That's cell towers, that's a whole host of things.
Yes, as most of the roads are impassable, a large number of trees have fallen across roadways and have sheared off power lines. Heavy winds have, the roadways and housing areas almost impassable. And many facilities, whether they're here on Fort Buchanan or across the island, have minor or severe damage, and we have to look individually across the island and here on Fort Buchanan on what the requirements are and ensure that we support civil authorities appropriately and prepare also accordingly for Fort Buchanan and the support of the services here.
I want to talk specifically about that river situation that Rick Racknew had said the river may crest, 20 feet above where it normally would because of all of the flooding. You're talking about infrastructure. Are there any dams or anything shoring up some of that water that you guys are particularly concerned about?
We do know that there is a reservoir that has had some challenges, and they've had to release water, but I don't have the particulars on that. I believe some of the good news is that I've been told that most of the airports will likely come back online on Friday.
Are you going to try to get people off that island? I mean, I know both our Army Reserve and the U.S. Coast Guard were pulling people from other islands during Hurricane Irma, and many of them went here to Puerto Rico for a few days so that they could wait for the storm to pass while it just devastated other places.
True. America's Army Reserve stands prepared to assist, but that really is directed by FEMA and the dual status commander, and we support them in those roles. Yeah. And we are already providing key support to some of the citizens that were displaced from the U.S. Virgin Islands with our 597th Water and Bath Unit, providing showers and laundry facilities at the convention center. And we have other formations as well that stand prepared as called on to really engage, whether they be engineers or petroleum units or civil affairs units. Our teams are absolutely looking at the key ways in which they can help the people of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
It's a big job. Is this as big as you've ever seen it?
It is as big as I've ever seen it, and I really have to stress that this is a team effort. This is a whole-of-government effort, and I am absolutely thrilled to be part of people that are so concerned about the welfare of the people of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands